lost you one. Will there ever be a second time around? Oh, when the tears are over and the moment has come, say my Lord, I think I found someone.
Season 1, Episode 4, First Anniversary, aired October 11th, 1991, with a total of 21.6 million views. Frank is sitting on the couch reading the comic section of the newspaper when he bursts into an hysterical laughter over Garfield. Dana walks in and questions why Frank, a grown man, is reading the comics. She thinks it's childish how hard he's laughing. JT comes through the front door excited because Cody's coming to visit for the weekend. Dana asks who Cody is, and Frank says he's his nephew and would be great on his job site, especially with a hammer since he's good at tearing things down. Dana doesn't like the sounds of that and jokes that she hopes Cody's up to date on his shots. JT says Cody's too cool to stay inside the house and that he lives in his van. Meanwhile in the kitchen, Carol is baking while singing and dancing when Al, Brennan, and Mark walk in. Caught off guard, Carol tells them they're having tacos for dinner. The kids go back to quizzing Mark, who impressively doesn't get any of the questions wrong. Frank walks in and tells Carol that his nephew Cody is coming for the weekend. Carol asks Frank if he remembers what this weekend is. When he doesn't, she reminds him that it's their 1-month anniversary from when they got married in Jamaica. Frank asks her if they're supposed to exchange gifts, but Carol says they don't need to because they're already each other's gifts, and then they end up kissing. Later, Carol pulls her sister Penny away from the hair salon in the middle of coloring a client's hair to show her the anniversary gift she got Frank, which is a new jacket. Penny's surprised, thinking they weren't doing gifts. Frank suddenly enters the room, and Carol quickly tosses the gift box to Penny to hide it. Penny then scares Frank, who didn't realize she was there. He tells them he's heading to the hardware store to pick up a new saw. Carol and Penny giggle, thinking saw is code for her gift. Carol and Penny walk into the kitchen and are startled to see a stranger. He introduces himself as Cody, Frank's nephew. He says he lives in the van in the driveway. Penny jokes that Carol lives in the house next to the driveway. Cody asks if he can plug in his van, and when he does, the lights flicker briefly. Penny realizes she left a customer under the hairdryer for a little too long and runs back into the salon. JT enters and excitedly welcomes Cody. JT says Cody is very cool and they start talking about all the girls Cody has met while traveling. Cody claims he's never been rejected. This is when JT makes a $20 bet that his stepsister Dana would never go out with him. When Karen walks in, Cody initially thinks she's Dana, but then the real Dana arrives and is instantly rude to him. JT says that's the one, and Cody says he likes a challenge. He immediately asks Dana out, but she just laughs in his face and walks off. JT thinks he won the bet already, but Cody insists he can still win her over. Later, Frank is in the living room when Carol gives him his anniversary gift. He's shocked. He thought they weren't exchanging gifts. Carol notices the bag Frank brought home, assumes it's her gift. Frank insists it's not. When she opens it and finds a saw, she gets upset, thinking he bought her a tool for their anniversary. Frank explains that earlier she said they weren't doing gifts. Carol replies that it was one of those things women say, but she expected him to get something romantic anyway. Cody enters the kitchen and announces he's written a song for Dana. However, all he has are a few lines that just repeat her name. Dana turns him down again, but Cody still believes she's secretly into him. At the hair salon, Ivy is upset to learn Frank didn't get Carol a gift for their 1-month anniversary. Frank shows up with a single rose, but Carol is still disappointed. Penny gives him advice that he needs to do something bold to show Carol he's romantic and to make her feel like he's the sexiest man alive. In the living room, Karen is painting her nails when Dana complains that Cody is a scuzz. Karen admits she finds Cody kind of cute, which makes Dana pause, thinking she should go out with her instead. Karen then accidentally spills that Cody and JT have a bet going about dating her. Dana is furious. In the kitchen, Brennan and Al are quizzing Mark to see if he'll ever get a question wrong. He gets everything right until Brennan asks why in baseball do they call it an inning? Mark hesitates, but ultimately admits he doesn't know, and they finally stumped him. Frank blindfolds Carol and leads her into the salon, revealing a surprise. He's transformed it to look as much like Jamaica as possible. Carol is touched and wonders who did all the work. Frank admits he did it, and even got JT to be our server for the night. But as I was watching this scene, I couldn't help but notice the giant flames and the tiki torches, which I don't think is the safest idea in a hair salon full of flammable products. She tells Frank that in the future she'll be clearer about her expectations and adds that she'd really like him to be more romantic. Back in the kitchen, Cody and Dana walk in and tell JT that they went to a concert together. Dana confirms it was a real date, meaning JT owes Cody $20. Cody then tells JT he can't take the money because after that night he feels like he should be the one paying, as he had such a great time with Dana. JT heads back into the salon to help his dad, but when he opens the door and sees Carol and Frank in the middle of something romantic, he quickly backs out saying, "Whoa, keep the door closed."